Pak.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma shalli ala Muhammad.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Saudara-saudara
wabarakatuh.
sekalian, Derina, Mareta, dan yang lain-lain semoga nyusul nanti. Ini nggak ada native ya, nggak ada foreigner kan?
Nggak ada, Pak.
Nggak ada ya. Oke. Saya menuruti audien ya. Kalau audien ada foreigner saya pakai bahasa Inggris, tapi kalau tidak saya pakai bahasa Indonesia. Terus semua slide saya dalam bahasa Inggris. Baik, saya mau share ini. Ya, ini adalah slide kita kali ini. Topik pembicaraan kita mengenai international relations theory and international law as a critical approach. Jadi, saudara sekalian, Anda kan international relations student absolutely learned about the international theories and international law. And sometimes we confuse about the relation and also the effectiveness of international law because of the diverse understanding or perspective on international relation theory. Now we will discuss it. What is the international scholar see about this phenomena? Because there is a big problem between the ideal thing and what happened in reality. But optimistically, the word today is not like perceived by Morgenthau, for example, or Machiavellians as anarchy, but also there are norms in international relations that obey by, international world society. So there's institution and also a nation state around the world. Okay, so in brief, what international theories understood by the leaders and the advisor of the leaders absolutely influence what world leader decide on international relation or foreign policy. The policy will run on international law or disobey or break the international law. It's based on the perception of the leader on international law. In my picture here, you see Donald Trump, also Putin, and also China leader and European leader. They take their own role and play the orchestra together, and the orchestra under international law or just they consensus in such an interest, we will test their behaviors. Okay. First of all, I want to discuss about the principles of international relation theory in viewing international law. That is why I suggest you to read my book in international relation theories. Yeah, both in English or in Bahasa Indonesia translated. Because it is a very fundamental understanding for international relations students to understand what kind of behavior will be taken by international leader, and what the perception of the leader related to international phenomena. International law is playing an increasingly important role in international politics. Yeah, we agree about this. But how obey or how care a nation to receive and consistently in international order or norm is the question. However, international relation theories have thus far failed to conceptualize adequately the role that law plays in politics. Yeah, to tell the truth, that international relation scholars very limited understanding in international law generally. So when we analyze international actor take a decision on such a case, we generally disobey or not give an adequate or proportional position on international law. Generally, we analyze international politics and behavior just in political perspective, but not include in international law. Instead, international relation theories have tended to operate with a limited conception of law. Yeah, as I say, and an understanding of jurisprudence and legal methodology is a crucial step toward achieving a better account of international law in international relation theory. So there are two sides. Firstly, generally, as international relation theories, a student, we we don't care not take in proportional size how law or norm influence international decision or behavior. And as an international law scholar, for example, they also lack of international relation theories, both in realism or constructivism or liberalism, neo-realism, and so on. So they do, as a lawyer, for example, international lawyer or leader with a background as a lawyer, they forget to to consider what international relation theories think on international relation. So we need today a multidisciplinary approach. We need, we should balance legally, international norm, and also socially in international political theories or international relation theories. But many of the laws in international relation idea of law stem also from the theoretical foundation of constructivism. Yeah, the school of thought which engages most frequently with law. Does it also reflect the perception of international political decision makers in seeing international law? I believe that, because what leader decide what leader take a position, absolutely linear have linearity with their understanding in mind. So what leaders' understanding on international phenomena, both in scientifically in international relation theory or in international law, absolutely influence their position and decision in international relation. So it is very important. If you remember that Indonesian position on Ministry of Foreign Affairs since almost since Indonesian independent and absolutely or 100% in President Suharto regime was not position for international relation scholar or alumni, but always the Ministry of Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Indonesia absolutely and always passed it and take from law scholar or alumni. President Jokowi is the first president in Indonesia that share this position to international relation alumnus, not international law. Yeah, so this is the first time. Bu Retno Marsudi is the first Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Indonesia, graduate from international relation department. Before her, all of the Indonesian minister came from law student or law department. Okay. Firstly, I will see. Okay. We will talk about the principles of international relation theory in viewing international law. Firstly, I will discuss what realism talk about international law. Yeah. Okay, that is why I hope you read my book. Yeah, because it is update, I think, with new example and understanding. Realism theory. If you see my book, you will mad that when we discuss on realism perspective, we will meet the international relation colored by anarchism, and the struggle for powers in international relations. Why? Because Morgenthau, as the founder of realism perspective or theory in modern era, historically we know Thucydides and Machiavelli, but in modern era, Morgenthau is the Bible. Morgenthau book on politics among nations is the Bible on international relation studies. So never ever you not read this book, because it is a very interesting book in international relation. Philosophically, Morgenthau thought based on Machiavelli's teaching on human nature. Actions are directed by the ethic of responsibility, not ethic in traditional religious meaning. What is different between religious meaning in ethic? It is right, or wrong, good or not, yeah, seen or not. It is traditional based on Machiavelli thoughts. Machiavelli stated that the action-directed ethic of responsibility. For example, if there is a person or group of person or part of a nation state that try to destroy the unity of a nation, there is no sins consideration. There is no moral consideration to erase, to stop the insurgency or or separatism. So uh, yeah, so the character of the leader under Machiavelli perception, the leader must have a character of lion who has both strength, power, and cunning, folks. Licik, Ethic of responsibility of a traditional religious morality for the safety of the country. Yeah. So, ethic of responsibility over traditional religious. So, yeah, it is not my statement, okay? It is Machiavelli. That is why we remember what Machiavelli very famous sentence that the end justify the means. The end justify the means. Tujuan menghalalkan segala cara in Indonesia. It means that I don't care to save my country. There is no consideration it is sinful or not, but I should protect our country with our powerful authority and instrument. Morgenthau basically use this human nature thoughts, which desire for power and interest. We call it a struggle for power and national interest in international relation interaction. The concept of importance of morality. Yeah. The concept of struggle for power and national interest over morality consideration. So, Morgenthau also, why Morgenthau had this kind of thoughts? Because Morgenthau lives under two blocks in Cold War era. So the tension among the block is very, very high. And sometimes decision maker take a decision or position with not complete information. So the philosophy, Zevetivo's philosophy, is how to, if there is no clear information, it means you are my enemy. If a clear information, yeah, maybe you are my friend, maybe. But if not clear, it means that your position is not clear, mean you are my enemy. Yeah. So the tension is very high. So judgment is a very very decisive position. International relation under Morgenthau perception is anarchy. Policy making is a mechanism that is not moral. It's mean immoral, because moral under Morgenthau, not me, weaken and provide opportunities to be dominated by opponent or enemies. Under Morgenthau and Machiavellian philosophy, there is no place for international norm and law. Interaction between the state and international relation absolutely as power relation. interest consensus or not. Where is the peace? The peace is when your interest and my interest meet in a consensus. If not, it's mean conflict. Okay, there is realism. And what under liberalism? Under liberalism theory, we will discuss on international law, institution, and free trade. So Daniel Dutney and Ekenberry stated that liberalism pillars first international law and treaties, coupled with the international organization, serve to create a relatively just international system. Secondly, the spread of free trade and capitalism through the effort of strong liberal countries and international organizations such as WTO and IMF. And number three, international norm. Liberal norms support international cooperation, human rights, democracy, and the rule of law. So, under liberal theory, today the dominant theory is liberal theory. There is a position, strong position of international law. But the question is, what kind of international law? Like we discussed last week about the continuity of colonialism law and international relation, because the pillar and the fundament of liberalism and liberal international law absolutely refer to Westphalia Treaty in 1648. So there are many criticism about the international treaty today, although peace more popular and conflict not popular. Cooperation more popular today than competition. But how fair the international treaty or law to serve international society? Yeah. So there is no a perfect system. Under liberalism, there is a strong position of international law. But the question is about what kind of law? It is fair enough for all international society, or the law really serve the continuity of international colonialization with new form. So new form of international colonialization, like speak out by the Latin America to criticize Donald Trump and WTO articles, for example. And that is why there is BRICS, like I mentioned last week, that why Brazil, Russia, and BRIC, India, China, and South Africa, they join together because they see that international law today is not absolutely served and fair for all of international society. But there is a dominant dominant interest to serve liberal or advanced country as a part of our colonialism era in the middle century. But in the perspective of international law, liberalism is more perspective than realism. Okay, and the third, it is English school. English school, yeah. English school is, don't try to translate English school, yeah, because it is the name of a scholar community. Scholar community. Under English school principle or theories built by English school, try to make more comprehensive understanding on international relation theory under the principle of international society, and world societies. I hope you read what is international system, international society, and world society in my book. Yanis Stefaktis stated that the theory of English school is built on three main concepts, namely international system, international community, and world society. English school contribute its touch on the foundation for the study of international history and relation in relation to social structure of the international order. English school try to make more holistic approach in international relation theory. And when we talk about the system, absolutely we need a norm, because each system absolutely has norm. So there is a place for international law here, because there is no system, effective system, without norm, and there is no system without norm. Yeah. All norm exists in a system. So only realism that try to disobey or neglect the international law, or just uh, give a small portion for international law. And Adriana Sinclair tried to make a bridge, between the gap of international relation theory and international law. But Adriana is not a single person. There are many constructivist scholar and also psychology and also sociology try to make a bridge in international comprehensive understanding. Okay, Adriana tried to rehabilitate international relations theory understanding of law using case studies from American English and international law to critically examine contemporary constructivism approach to international relations, and so how a gap in their understanding of law has led to inadequate theoretization. Adriana, in such article, stated that because of less understanding or information, not information, more understanding on international law understood by international relation scholars, there are many international relation theories were inadequate theory. Not confirmed to the reality. So constructivism try to see the world and what we can know about the world as a social constructed relation or construction. So word relation constructed socially by the actors. That is why under constructivism, international law is very important to make more permanent and clear constructed word by the leaders. International social construction, international relation as a social construction. That is why it's built by the dominant power holders in the world who continuously give meaning to the material structure and the ideational structure, material structure. What is the meaning of material structure and ideational structure? Immaterial, material and immaterial. Structure material and structure immaterial. Yeah, it is more easy to be understood. For example, there are 500 UK nuclear bomb, for example. Don't threaten USA at all. Then 2 nuclear bomb belonging to North Korea. Here in this example, 500 versus 2, not balanced. But under US perspective, that 500 is meaningless, not a threat for US. Although only 2, just 2 bombs, it is very threatening to US. Why? Here, the meaning is closely related to the relationships and social context that are built. So, material structure and ideational structure, there is a specific relation. The meaning of material structure related to the meaning of relations and the context in social relation and also in international relation. That is why in this discussion, some scholars suggest about international sociology studies. International sociology studies. Because this kind of theory, meaning, material structure, ideational structure, we borrow this concept from sociology. But the most important thing is, where is the international law? The role of international law in this context is to make more permanent relation, to make a clear meaning for material structure related to ideational structure in international relation. Okay, one gate. What is the role of international relation in this context? To make more permanent relation and context between material structure and ideational structure, to make the meaning of material structure can be understood peacefully by all international actors. So this is the the place for international law as a bridge between international relation theory and international law. So both sides, international relation scholar, as I mentioned last week, that we need to understand international law better and better, because it will create our understanding on international relation better also and more comprehensive, to make contribution on international peace and justice. Okay, this is my presentation. Maybe there is a question, please. If not, I will okay, I will close this session and I will share our presentation and video. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.